Good afternoon, YouTubers. This is the ShallowCross Sports Network with the Double A, bringing you another show real quick. It's been a while since we've been out here with a show, so we're going to try to get one out today. Uh, we're going to talk a little bit about the Tennessee Vols, Tennessee Vols basketball, Tennessee Vols football, and Tennessee Vols recruiting. We're going to talk a little about the Tennessee State Tigers and what they've done since Eddie George has left. And in addition to that, we're going to talk a little about some of the recruiting going on, some of the coaching changes that's going on in the SEC. And with that said, let's get right into that. But before we unpack it, please remember to like and subscribe and share the video. This is the ShallowCross Sports Network, and this is the Double A. Well, right off the bat, we're going to get with Tennessee on recruiting. Tennessee is still hitting the streets pretty hard on recruiting in football, and they have an elite offensive tackle by the name of Leo Delaney, who was a teammate with David Sanders, who's already on the team, and they have a good chance of signing and getting a commitment from Leo Delaney. He's out of Providence Day High School in Charlotte, North Carolina. He's 6'5", 275 pounds, and this would be a big pickup for the Vols. Delaney is a 2026 recruit, if I'm not mistaken. And I'm going to pull him over here, see if you can look at him. But Leo Delaney, he's, like I said, 6'5", 275 pounds. And he is a 2026 recruit, if I'm not mistaken. Got a 92.03 rating with on 3, and he is rated real high with all the recruiting outlets. I'm gonna log on and see exactly how he's rated by the other outlets. And let you look at it. But he's on 3, has him rated as a 4-star with a little bit above 92.3 rating, and then 247 has him at 93. He's a 4-star with them. ESPN has him as looks like an 83, and of course Rivals has him at 58, but he's still a 4-star. That's where he's ranked as far as the ladder is going. But it's a good chance Tennessee will pick this individual up, and he's being recruited by Michigan, South Carolina, Tennessee, Clemson, and Georgia. And just looking at some of the stuff he said after he made his visit this weekend, he said he enjoyed getting to spend more time around the people at Tennessee. The biggest highlights of his visit was speaking with head coach Josh Heupel and offensive line coach Glenn Ellerby, and hanging out with the volunteer players. And most of all, he enjoyed being with David Sanders. Leaving the visit, I'm definitely in love with the Tennessee program. Delaney told on on 3, I think it's a great program and somewhere I feel completely comfortable. So he's a 2026 player. And like I said earlier, he's being recruited by Michigan, Wisconsin, Penn State. And he's the number 8 overall player in North Carolina. So that's Leo Delaney. And Tennessee has several visits scheduled this weekend for several players. And they really are kicking it in hard for 2026. And then looking at basketball, the UT Vols are right now being crystal ball to pick up Jacoby Gillespie in the transfer portal. He's a point guard, averaged 14 points per game, and eight assists, and he shot 40% from 3. And he played for Belmont for a couple of years, and then played for Maryland for a year. So he'll have a year of eligibility. Then another guard that they in on is Isaac McNeely. He is a transfer from Virginia, and he averaged 14.4 points a game and 2.9 assists, and he shot 43.9 from the 3. And so those just 2 of the individuals that Coach Barnes and his staff are digging down in on. And there's several other players that they're looking at. It's a player out of Division II that they're looking at. He's like a 6'7" or 6'8" forward. And I think it's a couple of other big men they're looking at. And I'll get that information and send it out to you on the next show. But with that said, let's look at the basketball recruits, some more basketball recruits. Xavier Griffin. Actually, these are football recruits. Xavier Griffin is a 4-star edge rusher, and he's committed to Alabama, but he's still visiting Tennessee. And Xavier is a four-star. And then it's a homegrown kid by the name of Joel White, and he's an athlete. And I'm going to see if I can pull him up for you also. We'll look at both of these guys. But Joel, he's right there in Bell Buckle, Tennessee, which is near Shelbyville. Let's see if I can pop him over to you so you can see him a little bit better. But this is a picture of him here. 6'4", 185 pounds. And he's out of the Way Up School down there in Bell Buckle, Tennessee. And he's rated as a 4-star across the board also. And he plays wide receiver and linebacker, being recruited by Tennessee, Ole Miss, Vanderbilt, LSU, and Auburn. And So that's what's going on for him. And then I'll just an article here where it says Tennessee is pushing for in-state players, and looks like that On Three's Josh Newberg has the inside scoop on a lot of the players that Tennessee is recruiting. And of course, you know, we picked up Tyreek King this year from Knoxville Catholic, and then picked up Tyron Evans, a 3-star. And so things are on the up and up. And so that's what's going on with football too. Still digging in basketball, and we'll see what happens down the stretch on that. But then let's get over here to Tennessee State. Tennessee State picked up some new coaches over the past 4 or 5 days, and as far as football scoop is concerned, Tennessee State is bringing in Greg Williams to be the DC, Shannon Harris to probably be either the OC or the quarterback coach, Russell Efferan to be the offensive line coach, as well as Fred Koss from the DC Commanders to either be the assistant head coach or OC on Reggie Barlow's staff. So things are on the up and up. I listened to an interview with Reggie Barlow this morning, and Reggie Barlow is very excited about getting out there in the transfer portal and picking up players to fill up that roster at Tennessee State, and so he's already working hard to try to get the roster built back up, since they lost so many guys in the transfer portal. And also, I'll have on the next show the defensive back coach, the running back coach, the linebacker coach, the tight end coach, and the wide receiver coach. And also, I want to let you know that the strength and conditioning folks, they stayed in put, and they didn't go to Bowling Green with Eddie George. So that's a good thing for Tennessee State. And we're looking forward to seeing what Reggie Barlow can produce this year. They open up in August with the John Merritt Classic, and I'm thinking it's North Carolina A&T, and so we'll see what happens there. And then looking at Tennessee State basketball, they've had at least 3 individuals go into the transfer portal for this year's basketball team that came close to going to the final game in the OVC tournament. And so it looks like Penny Collins is going to have to rebuild again, just like he did last year, and hopefully he'll be able to do it. And then switching over to basketball to Tennessee again, of course, you know Tennessee got annihilated in the Elite Eight, got beat by 19 points. Myself, just my observation, Tennessee wasn't ready in that first half. They couldn't shoot the ball. They couldn't hit the broadside of a barn. They wasn't shooting well. I don't know if it was nerves or what. And then they didn't rebound at all against the University of Houston. And that's a bad recipe for losing games. They came back in the second half and played okay. Got the score down to 10, but Houston just had so many players that they were just scoring whenever they needed to. Every time Tennessee would get a stop, Houston would counter them with a basket. So, good year for Tennessee. Coach Barnes got to regroup. He's got about 7 or 8 slots he's got to fill. And it's going to be a big challenge to get players that can get you back where you were this year. And so, he's losing Ziegler. He's losing Lanier, Mikovic. He's losing Gainey, Meshack. And it's one more player. It's a player that was a walk-on that's leaving. And there's one more player. Oh, and Goldstone, Donaldstone, Dubois. And so he's got to really go out there and get some players and rebuild a team. And like I said earlier in this show, he's out there looking hard in the transfer portal for guards and forwards and some big men. So that's what's going on. Far as the draft is concerned, I told you who Tennessee had, who were eligible to get drafted. And I'll put that back up again for you on my next show. And I don't think Tennessee State has anyone that's going to be drafted in this draft. Vanderbilt, I don't think they had anybody either. I know Memphis had Rock Taylor and Seth Hennigan, the quarterback and wide receiver. And I think both of those individuals are going to get drafted in the draft. And my next show, or another show, an NFL show, I'm going to have my mock draft, and I'm going to have my big board showing the top players in the NFL draft for 2025. And this is my assessment based on my research, based on the draft guides that I've purchased to develop these lists. And then as far as the draft, every year it seems like I get maybe 2, maybe 3 right. And then after that, trades kick in and things happen, and it blows the mock draft right on out of the picture. But anyway, I'm going to keep on doing it. And like I say, I love doing this. I love the YouTube video shows, and I like presenting information to you, and I like doing something for the community and for the public. And it's free. I don't get paid. I do this because I like to do it. And but with that said, that's gonna get me off my soapbox. I'm gonna give you a little national news. Just found out that University of Maryland has hired Buzz Williams of Texas A&M as their new head coach. Of course, Kevin Willard left and went to Villanova after the NCAA tournament loss for Maryland. And it looked like Porter Moser from Oklahoma, two SEC coaches, were up for that job. But they hired Buzz Williams, and Buzz is going to take over as the head coach at University of Maryland. That's some national news on a national note. And looks like Colorado's Shedeur Sanders is going to do his pro day on Friday. And it looks like the Titans head coach will not be there, or the general man. Well, the general manager will be there, and I think some other scouts and so forth will be there. But the president of the Titans, I think his name is Blinken, he will not be there, and of course Callahan won't be there either. So, and it's a lot of jargon going around about who's going to be the first pick overall, whether the Titans are going to draft Cam Ward or Shedeur Sanders or Abdul Carter or Travis Hunter. So we just got to wait and see what happens. But with that said, that's going to end this show. I'm going to do another show hopefully tonight, and probably do another show tomorrow with some more information in it. And God bless each and every one of you. We'll see you on the next show.